Good Sunday morning, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. This is our Sunday stream of the Cheese League Baseball Tournament, Day 10. We are in the semifinals. And if you're watching here on Twitch or if you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for joining us. So, when we were last together yesterday, we saw the Bree Boomerangs beat up again on the Feta Fiddlers. They keep out-hitting them. I'm sorry. My voice is a little messed up today. I taught a class yesterday, and ever since, my voice has been a little rough and raspy. And then we also saw the Asiago Aeroplanes take one from the Mozzarella Maneaters, 9-2. So, let's get right into this action and let's see what happens. With a win today, the Bree Boomerangs, with a win right now, I should say, the Bree Boomerangs could advance to the finals. So let's take a look at what's going on with this game. Oh, man. But yeah, thank you for joining us on this Saturday stream. Or Saturday stream. Sunday stream. I don't even know what day of the week it is. It's been a long... It was a long week. As we look at the opening lineups here, Boomerangs, Fiddlers, Navy Bale on the mound for the Fiddlers. And Meter is going to lead it off for the Boomerangs. Bale, four-seamer slider, curveball, and the forkball from the southpaw. And 3-0 count right away. They give Meter the green light. She fouls it away. Now works the count full. Down on strikes, right down the pike, actually. Out number one, Kaysen Oldie steps in. Runner over to Hogan, and that'll be out number two. Two quick outs here.
Number 29.
A long day yesterday, folks. Long day. Just like errands, taking care of stuff, running around. That was all good stuff in the long run. Ballstein Price steps in for the home team Fiddlers and fouls that one off. We got Botch Zavala. A little elevated ERA from him. The righty, four-seamer cutter, slider, curveball in his pitch arsenal. 2-2. And there's a strikeout to lead off the bottom half of this frame. Alfredo West steps up. Only hitting 250, but having a good tourney nonetheless. 3 homers, 7 RBIs for him. 2-2. Down on strikes it goes. I do like the baby blue uniforms of the Bree Boomerangs. Man, there are some amazing sales happening right now. I'm like tempted to buy some stuff, but on MLB.com or MLB Shop, there's some incredible. It's down on strikes it goes. End of the first inning. Some incredible sales happening right now of this awesome like old school looking hoodies and gear and stuff. And the navy or the baby blue Phillies stuff from back in the day. Just so awesome. I want to buy all of it. Over to Everly Harris, out number 1. Here comes Repo Sawhorse. I think Sawhorse at one point was injured in the tournament. He's looking well now, so coming back from injury. Navy Bale tries to get him to chase high. There's a foul ball. K-Dud is activated, but it gets him to pop it up. Center field, who's that? Harlow Cray Cray, yeah, she's there. Out number 2.
The third baseman, number 18.
In steps Bailey Dakota. That is a foul ball down the line. It's a big week coming up, folks, of course. Ooh, nice little diving catch by Alfredo West. 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Fiddlers of Feta. Rose Bobbert steps in. Big week, folks, because this is opening week of the Major League Baseball. So that is very, very exciting. 2-2 is the count, and that's a foul ball. So that's pretty cool. We'll talk about those schedules, and down on strike she goes in a little bit. I think our Wednesday stream of Cheese League Baseball will do a little preview of the teams that matter the most to me and my family, which is the New York Yankees and the Philadelphia Phillies. A little Sunday hop there. How fitting for Sally Meter. It's out. Number 2, and in steps Cray Cray. 0-1, 292, having a good tournament. Try to get her chase low. Yeah, looping curveball kind of died, and she swung right over it. Zeros across the boards go to the top of the third and the bottom third of the lineup. 2 up now for the Bree Boomerangs, who have really proven to be the big power hitting ball club that I anticipated they would be. Raking lots of homers, big hits, timely hits. Down on strikes he goes. Pretty upset with himself. Andrew Espinosa steps in. Espinosa's having a great tournament. I don't know if he actually started, though. Or if he came in as a replacement at one point, just kind of got the starting role in the right field position. 1-2. And 2-2. And again, the 2-2. Popped up. Is that going to get into the... No, it doesn't. Downtown in the on-deck circle. The second out, Ben Buck steps in. He's been a hot hitter. He's been actually a big power hitter here for the Boomerangs as of late. And that might be, it is the first hit of the day. Deep in the hole at short. No throw for Hogan, so Buck on first, Sally Meter top of the order, up, and that's a gapper. Gets all the way to the right center gap, and that will send Buck all the way from first. It is an RBI double, and the Bree Boomerang strike first. They lead at 1-0.
The second baseman, number 4.
Casey Oldie now steps in. Good speed on the base pass. A little base hit, score that run. Possibly throwing around him a little bit. No, he just came right at him. Fouled off. 3-2. And ooh, What a nasty pitch. Tied him up inside. Oldie down on strikes, but the Boomerangs get a run. Bottom of the third we go, folks. Gertie Carter will lead it off for the Fiddlers. Zavala already looking locked in. Now he has a little bit of a lead. Yesterday we went to the outlets. It's just always such chaos at the outlets. Out number 1. Stetson Downtown steps in. I like going to the outlets, but it's always so freaking... It's just such a hassle, and there's always so many people there. It's like, and you don't know if you're actually getting a good deal. Pretty sure you're not, but it is what it is. 3-2 on Downtown. Fouled away. And 3-2, and got him swinging over the big looping curveball. Zavala just kind of mowing down these Fiddler hitters. And there's a strike. Just got a high pollen alert on my phone, so that's great news for everybody suffering from seasonal allergies. That's a rip, but right at Ben Buck. Out number 3. 9 up, 9 down so far for the Fiddlers. Watch Zavala looking good out there on the mound, locked in. Maybe Bale locked in as well. All right, we've got 3, 4, and 5 due up here for the Boomerangs. Brushes him off the plate. Popped up. And out number 1.
Now batting, the catcher, number 6.
Doctor's appointments this week. Not looking forward to that, but looking forward to that. You know, just like do yard work, get the garden ready. That's a shot. Is that going to sneak over the wall? No, off the top of the wall. A very, very long, hard hit double. A 1-out double. That brings up Repo Sawhorse with a runner in scoring position. Not a very fast runner, I will say. Sawhorse hits. What are you doing? What a base running blunder for the Boomerangs. What are you doing? It hit to the left side. You stay put on second base, but tried to chance it. And it's a double play to end the inning. Boomerangs squander that opportunity. We got Ballstein Price. Yeah, top of the order. Lead it off for the home team. Got him. Alfredo West steps in. Fouled away.
That's inside.
That's a little pop-up. Is that going to get into foul territory? Yeah, despite Meter's best efforts. Slow roller. Dakota, bare hands, fires. Out number 2. Man, Scotty Brocious used to be the best at that. Third base. Scott Brocious from New York Yankees. Back in the day, what his stats were. He was a great player. I'm going to look up Scott Brocious stats right now. This is what I do sometimes. I'll just, sometimes I just go on Baseball Reference and just look up, like, random ball players.
Now batting, the third baseman, number
Career
18.
257 hitter, Scott Brocious. That one skips up there. Top of the 5th, 1-0. Boomerangs still lead. Alright, so Scott Brocious had an OPS plus of 94. WAR of 15. Interesting. Played with the Oakland A's. I didn't realize he only played 10 seasons. That is a base hit into center field. 1-out base knock.
Now batting,
And brings
the
up
right
Espinoza, who's
fielder,
0 for 1 so
number
far.
33.
Boy, did he have a good 1998 year. The New York Yankees hit 300. 121 OPS plus, 843 OPS. See how many RBIs. 98 RBIs, not bad. 19 homers. He had a very good year. Kind of dropped off from there. 2001 though. Good bounce back year for him. Only played in 120 games. But nonetheless, that is a high fly pop-up. I'm trying to think of who the Yankees would have had at third base alongside him in 2001.
Now batting, the center
It'd
fielder,
been like a...
number 21.
Actually, I don't know. Don't know. But I can't believe he only played 10 years, though. I thought, and I was almost positive that he played for the Baltimore Orioles. But he played for the Oakland A's. So I'm all types of confused. Scott Brocious.
Strike three.
Gold Glove winner as well in 1999. That might be one of those things where I'm just thinking and I'm romanticizing it and I'm thinking that he's a lot better than he was, but all I know is that Scott Brocious was great back in the day for the Yankees. And I'm going to stick with that. What up, Power Up? Keeping it wheels. That one is high and far and has a chance and is gone. Sneaks over the wall. Who's that? Everly Harris, I believe? 363-foot shot. Bobbert, Rose Bobbert, first homer, third RBI of the tournament. That solo shot ties it up. Layla Hogan steps in now, 0 for 1. So the first little chink in the armor of Zavala, who's been pitching quite well thus far. I was almost positive, and she goes down and strikes. I was almost positive Scott Brocious played third base for the Baltimore Orioles. But now I'm thinking about it, he couldn't have, because wasn't that was Cal Ripken. Exactly, they were definitely waiting for you to show up to score at least one. Gotta get one. Can't get shut out. Let's look at Cal Ripken's stats. Let's look at how ridiculous those stats are. This is going to be an exciting exercise. Slow roller, Oldie Fields, out number 3. What an absolute ridiculous 21-year career, Cal Ripken Jr. Just incredible. Ooh, that's a tank. Down the line, curves, home run, out of the stadium. Out of the stadium into the hob. 417-foot shot. Sally Meter, second homer, 5th RBI of the tournament. That solo shot puts the Boomerangs ahead, 2-1. So Cal Ripken Jr. And that one is hit high and into the gap, the left center gap. And it's a double home run and a double. And now the Boomerangs hitters are starting to hit Navy Bale around a little bit. All right, you take care of your stuff there. And Para will be here talking about Cal Ripken Jr. stats. Let's go over how ridiculous this... Oh, my God. So his baseball reference page is nuts. 2-2 on Mickelson. That one has popped up in front of the big wall. Carter's there. That's out number 1. Cal Ripken played in 3,001 baseball games. Of course, we all know he broke the consecutive game streak held by Lou Gehrig, the Iron Man. Or Iron Horse, rather. So Tirehead comes in relief of Navy Bale. Got chased from the game. He's getting hit around a little bit here in the 6th. 1-2 on Davila, who's looking locked in. And we got him to chase a running fastball outside. And Rico Sophomore steps in 0-2. The runner on second, 2 outs, top of the 6th. Cal freaking Ripken Jr. He was an all-star every single season, with the exception of, which can't be possible, is down on strikes he goes, but the Boomerangs get 1. They lead 2-1. This can't be right. Every single season, with the exception of his rookie year, even though he's Rookie of the Year, he was MVP his second season. A little roller to Zavala, out number 1. Silver Slugger nearly every year. MVP in the tops in MVPs. MVP in 1991 as well. God, let's look at his 1991 year. What did he do that? 320. Hit freaking 323. Jesus. 34 home runs. 34 home runs. He's not, not known as a home run hitter. 34 homers in 1991 for Cal Ripken. 114 RBIs. Jesus, what a season. 940 OPS. Runner goes, and that ducks into center field. Buck is there. Throw comes into second. Runners on the corners now. Fiddlers are threatening a little bit. That brings up Alfredo West with 1 out. Runners on, infield in. Zavala comes home, and they get her in a rundown. And a base running mistake. Zavala tags her out. Base running mistake for some reason. Infield playing in, you don't go. That was most likely going to be a double play ball. But they get the lead runner. Now they're 2 outs. With runners on first and second. Tapia's having a good tournament too. 406. It's pretty darn good. It's elite. Pop up to Buck. Out number 3. The Fiddlers squander that opportunity. It's a couple of base running mistakes that we've seen thus far in this game. It's kind of sloppy. The Boomerangs still lead at 2-1. And Bailey Dakota stepping in. Fouled away. 0-2 on her. Tirehead back on the mound. Working away for the Fiddlers. This bullpen has been used heavily, and I imagine they're kind of tired as she goes down on strikes. And in steps Jonah Conrad. There's a strike. And I remember watching Cal Ripken in the game that he beat Lou Gehrig's home run record, Lou Gehrig's consecutive game streak. I remember that. I remember the banners hanging on the warehouse in Utah Street. Runner goes, he's dead meat. I don't know why you go. Downtown behind the plate, throws him out. And that's hit hard, but right at Cray Cray, out number 3. Real quick inning there. Could have amounted to maybe something more, but again, some more base running mistakes. And in steps Bobbert. She had a homer last time up. Kind of curved around the left field foul pole. Or fair pole. I don't know why some people call it the foul pole and some people call it the fair pole. Never understood that. It was always the foul pole, the foul line. That's another jack, and that is another home run for Rose Bobbert. A 2-home run day for her. The Fiddlers tie the ball game. 473-foot jack. Tied up at 2. Yeah, some things just do get burned in your memory. That's a jack. Could this be back-to-back jacks? No. Just in front of the big wall. Out number 1.
Now batting,
All right.
number 30.
Cray gets pulled from the game, and Rathskeller comes in as a pinch hitter. Yeah, I remember. I just remember everything about that. The number being flipped over, the numbers in the warehouse, the crowd. Zavala gets pulled, and Madeline Richards comes in out of the bullpen. Been pretty effective out of the bullpen, to 2.70 ERA. Grounder to Mickelson, and comes in, 1 pitch, gets the job done. So the Fiddlers tied up 2-2. We go to the top of the 8th.
Center fielder, number 21.
That I'll never forget. I think in Cal Ripken's final season, I believe that year
Now batting,
he had the winning hit. I think it was a home run in the All-Star game, if I do recall. What a great player, and what a great field. Camden Yards is one of the great American ballparks that there's ever been. It is so beautiful. Ooh, Alfredo West kind of snaps that down.
Number 4.
2 outs. Kason Oldie up now. Looking to get something going here. Oh, yeah. Oh, you have the Fleer error card where he has a foul word taped to the bottom of his bat in the picture. I think that was him. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. That's a really rare and valuable card. A base hit through the left side keeps this inning alive.
The shortstop, number 29. Now pitching.
And Espinosa's coming in relief from Tirehead now. A lefty on lefty matchup. Nicholson swings over that, kind of pulled the string on it. Running fastball high, 1-2. Now brushes him back off the plate. And that's base hit up the middle. It was interesting. It looked like the defense was set up for him to pull it, maybe. I don't know.
The catcher,
And
number
Dirk
6.
DeVilla steps in, 1 for 3 with a double. 2 on, 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. He was a lot of fun. I saw him play live, I think once. That's a base hit. Up the middle, runners coming home. They're gonna try to get the out at third. No. Boomerangs. Aggressive base running here. They score a run now, lead it 3-2 with runners on the corners. And that one is jacked into left center and gets into the deepest part of the ballpark. 1 run comes home. Here comes another. It's a 2 RBI double. And the Boomerangs take the 5-2 lead now here in the 8th inning. And that Espinosa is pulled and regulation comes in to kind of quiet these Boomerang bats. Got to see Ken Griffey Jr. play too. Talk about an amazing thing to witness as a kid. 3-run top of the 8th here for the Boomerangs. Let me look up this stat, actually. I want to look up this guy. He only played for 6 years. Okay, that's interesting. So, looking at this, this is... I talk about a guy that never really paid off for the Yankees. Little Sunday hop there for Mickelson. How fitting. Out. Number 2, and Bulstein Price comes in now. Hits that one high and far. That's going to stay in the park, though. Out number 3. So, Top of the ninth we go. 5-2. The Boomerangs leading. 7-8, 9-2 up for them. Fiddlers looking to close this inning out real quick. This top half. Get their bats back up. As regulation on the mound. Conrad at the bat. So, I am going to talk about a player that was kind of the bane of my existence when I was a young Yankees fan in the 90s. The dynastic years of the 90s. As down on strikes it goes. But then the Yankees got this pitcher from Japan named Hideki Irabu. Ooh, Conrad, meniscus tear. That does not sound good. So we're going to have a replacement for him, as that was a hot shot to Harris in the hot corner. And now steps Ben Buck. So Hideki Irabu. I went to several Yankee games at the old stadium, which was a better stadium. Let's all agree on that. New stadium's fine. It's fine. But went to several games with family to the old Yankee Stadium in the 90s. And in most games that I went to, so go to the bottom of the ninth, Boomerang's looking to close this one out. Most Yankee games I went to, for some reason, Hideki Irabu always pitched. For some reason. All right, we're going to have Tucker in at first. I'm sorry. Tucker goes first base. Meter goes to left field. Some changes for your scorecard at home. Oldie, out number one. Hideki Irabu pitches. They play the Mariners. Ken Griffey Jr. jacks a home run into the upper deck. Yankees lose. I think the Yankees have lost every single game I've ever seen live. Down to the final out here, folks. And Hideki Irabu pitched, and he was kind of a bust for the Yankees. Looking at his stats, he was certainly a bust overall. Went 5-4. He only started 13 games his first season. I don't know. Why is that? That's interesting. He's went 5-4 in 1997. That goes off Oldie's glove, so the Fiddlers get a base runner. Then he comes in 1998, 13-9. All right, not too bad. What's his ERA? An ERA of 4, though, 13-9. 1999, 11-7, ERA of 4.8. Meh. And then he goes to the Expos, 2000, 2001, and goes to Texas, and doesn't really do much after that. Absolute bust for the Yankees. Down on strike she goes, and that is the final out of the game, folks. And the Bree Boomerangs. The Bree Boomerangs. Why can't I see? Oh, there we go. Lost my mouse there for a moment. Bree Boomerangs win, and with that win, folks, they move on in the tournament to the finals. So the Boomerangs sweep the Feta Fiddlers. Score here 5-10-0 to 2-4-0. Let's take a look at the offensive side. 10 hits on the Boomerang side. Big hits from the top of the lineup there. Home runs. Meter had a good game. Bobbert had a good game. On the Fiddler side, you see 3 for 4, but they just really couldn't, outside of that, they couldn't get anything together. They used a lot of pitchers too. So Tyre had the loss. Richards with the win. And Bobbert, Meter, and Zavala with the top 3 honors. So, the Bree Boomerangs move forward in the tournament to the finals. So, we got some fake baseball action here to figure out who's going to win between the Asiago Aeroplanes and the Mozzarella Maneaters. Let's take a look at this game right now. We have one half of the bracket all solidified. Silly crabs indeed. So a win today, or a win right now, ties up the series for the Aeroplanes. That's what they're looking for. All right, we got pepperoni crosses. So we got Maneaters fan
The second baseman.
which might mean that they lose, but we'll see what happens. Buddy Greenman leads it off. Shark Hollister is the best pitcher in this Asiago rotation, 1.29 ERA. I think he's an A-rated pitcher. So let's see what happens here, folks. 1 and 2. Shattered bat. Ooh. Little bobble by Hollister. Out number 1. Is Hollister a store? Kelly and I were having this argument yesterday, too. This discussion. So we can't remember. I think Abercrombie & Fitch is gone from our local mall. It's just now some other stupid store that sells roughly the same clothing. But over to McIntyre. Out number 2. But I can't remember if Hollister is in the mall either.
Number 36.
Don't recall. Hollister was a store. Yeah, I remember they had I remember Hollister actually had a lot of lawsuits brought against them. Down on strikes. Kerr goes, and we go to the bottom of the first. And it'll be Trip Bernays pitching for the Mozzarella Man-Eaters. Yes, it was not wheelchair accessible. So they had, for some reason, Hollister decided to, in all of their storefronts, to put steps. Yes, steps to get in. They had 2 or 3 steps to get in. And it had like a little, looked like a little tiki hut outside. You had to walk up the steps and walk down the steps to get in. And the accessible entrance was this, like, you had to kind of open like this, the glass panels, and that was the only way you can get in if you used a wheelchair. They opened the glass panels for you, but they were always covered with clothes and covered with displays and stuff, so they would never do it, or they'd give you a hard time about it. So I know that they were part of I think possibly a class action lawsuit about that. That was a big deal back in the Dizzy. Then they had to change all of their storefronts. Those stores suck, though. Ooh, this is a high fly ball. Off the big wall. Connor plays it well off the carom. So it's a 2-out double here for Ash McIntyre. Brings up the big, heavy-hitting Miguel Russell.
Number 53.
98 on the gun. 4-seamer, 2-seamer, curveball changeup for Bernays. And that's higher than it is far. As Bell puts it away, the final out. Top of the second we go. Yeah, $75 for a ripped t-shirt. I was telling Kelly the story the other day. So, back in the day, like high school, I guess it was. I think it was high school. That's like kind of when Hollister and Abercrombie and stuff. Well, I have another weird thing about Abercrombie. But Hollister and Abercrombie, I think they were starting to get really popular. And that's when they were starting to sell stuff like ripped t-shirts, as Valencia comes in. And ripped jeans and all that kind of stuff. Ooh, base hit up the middle. 1-out base knock for Valencia. Maneater's got a base runner. So, around that time, I had my favorite pair of cheap-ass Old Navy jeans. Abercrombie blew up your last few years of high school. Interesting. It didn't hit my rural area of Pennsylvania. That one is off the big wall. And it's a 1-out double, so now runners on second and third for Quentin Jock. Yeah, American Eagle blew up too. So I had, again, around that time I had a cheap-ass pair of Old Navy jeans, but they were my favorite pair. Fell for some reason and ripped a hole in the knee as Spud Pepperoni steps in with 2 outs here and 2 on, and that gets away from Ruiz, but nothing doing. And there's a strike. I'll just never forget, I was like, damn, I got a hole in my jeans. So I did what any normal person I thought would do, and I sewed the hole up. And Spud strikes out, breaks his bat in frustration. Squandered opportunity to leave 2 on to go to the bottom of the second. 5, 6, and 7 do up for the Aeroplanes. Jared Bugby steps in to lead things off. And so I sewed it up, and I'll never forget this kid Mike in high school was like, dude, you sewed the hole in your jeans? I'm like, yes. Why would I want a hole in my jeans? He didn't understand that they were not expensive jeans. They were $12 at Old Navy. Donna Francis steps in. She has struggled mightily during this tournament, and she shouldn't have. She's a pretty solid all-around player, but just hasn't been able to put things together. 3-1. And walked her. Here's a Kobe Frown, who's also struggled. A- rated player, Kobe Frown, but has also struggled at the plate. So, I'll never forget, too, Abercrombie. I had those Abercrombie catalogs, and they were weird. Abercrombie catalogs were really strange. They're just like half-naked people, most of the time some naked people in them. They were just really, really strange. That's a base hit through the right side. So my brother's roommate in college was this real preppy kid. He smelled like Abercrombie and Fitch. Like whatever disgusting musk they pumped through that store, that's what he smelled like. And I'll just never forget, in their bathroom in college, he had like stacks of the Abercrombie catalogs just in their bathroom. It was just so strange. That one gets away from Spud behind the plate, and the runners advance. So no double play opportunity. And yep, kind of the intentional walk there to set up the double play as Ruiz steps in. With the bases loaded here for the Asiago Aeroplanes. 1 out, bottom of the second, sorry. Yeah, people wearing no clothes, selling clothes. Exactly. That's exactly what the catalogs were. Trey Mattingly steps in. 2 outs. Bases juiced. Bottom of the second. Bernays trying to get out of a jam. And that one's fouled away. 1-2 count. Fouled away again. And try to get him chased high and outside 2-2. And again, ooh, that looked like a pretty good pitch. Full count, runners go. All right, full count again. And fouled away again. Good at bat here for Mattingly. And boy, oh boy. Maybe throw him a little change up now. Nope. Right at South, out number 3. They leave the bases loaded. 9, 1, and 2 due up for the Man-Eaters. Top of the 3rd. Yeah, it was weird. Man, some of those stores are weird. I just remember, as this is a pop-up, but Frown is there, out number 1. I just remember when, actually, I think when Old Navy hit real big. Back in the day, it just was like, you shopped at like 2 stores. It was like JCPenney or Sears. Macy's was the expensive store. Into the right field corner. Frown plays it well, so they hold them to a single. I believe that was Valencia. And that brings up Aria Bell with a runner on first. Popped up behind home plate. Is that going to get off the screen? Yes, it does. Sears, JCPenney, that was it. Those are the only stores that you went to. Oh, goddamn, now I'm remembering. Freaking Sears Husky. Never again.
The third baseman, number 36.
There was this other store, I forget what it was called, in this weird mall. As we got 2 outs here, runner on second for the Man-Eaters. This other store that sold like kind of hip clothing. That's a base hit up the middle. They're gonna send the runner. No, they hold, and probably a good call. Good arm there in center field. So on the corners now for the Man-Eaters. And let's see what Bertram South can do. I'll never forget, I found this store and it was amazing, and I was a big 0-2 count on South. And ooh, sneaks down the line. Run comes home, and the Mozzarella Man-Eaters get on the board first. It's an RBI single for South. That brings up Valencia. Well, I guess that wasn't Valencia who just scored. I don't know who the heck was on first base. That wasn't Spud. Huh, how about that? 351 for Valencia. Great tournament. No speed on first base. There's actually negative speed on first base for the Man-Eaters. Cross the diamond, out number 3. But the Man-Eaters get a run. They lead it 1-0 as we go to the bottom half of the frame. I forget what the store was called, but I just never forget. I was a big fan of Kevin Smith movies, and Banky in Chasing Amy wore this awesome blue jacket. And that's a base hit up the middle. And I found this amazing blue jacket that looked like Banky's in this store. And I was like, awesome. And I found a pair of jeans, and they were awesome, and they were cheap, and they were amazing, and everything was great. And then I went back, and then it sold all girls' clothes, so I'm starting to wonder if they just didn't switch their styles, or did I buy girls' clothing? I'm still not entirely sure to this day, but I will stand by it. That jacket and that pair of jeans were fantastic. Miguel Russell steps in, 2 on, nobody out here, bottom of the third. And that one is tanked over the big wall. Home run into the last row. Miguel Russell. 404-foot shot. 5th homer, 17th RBI of the tournament. And the Asiago Aeroplanes lead it 3-1. We need a pic of that. I'm sure there's pictures out there somewhere of it. Probably on my MySpace page back in the day. But then buying girls' clothing became very in, as Bugby lines out to Greenman. As you're in the music scene, the hardcore punk scene, Scene Kids, and liner to Kerr out number 2, and that brings up Frown 1-for-1 with a single. I remember a lot of people I used to go to shows and stuff with. They're all wearing girl jeans. And that is an out. So 3 straight lineouts after giving up 3 runs. Asiago Aeroplanes lead it and go to the top of the 4th.
Number 27.
Base hit up the middle. Griffith starts it off for the Man-Eaters. Yeah, that mall, that dirt mall kind of place, had some amazing stores. All right, Griffith runs quite well. Let's see if they can make something happen on the bases here. Ruiz has a pretty decent arm behind home plate, though. That one popped up and just gets foul. 2-1, and runner goes. Stolen bag easily. And try a pickoff. Don't like that pickoff move. Never ever did. Just such a threat to throw it away into center field and get that runner over to third. And it's that Spud 0-for-1. 1 out. Runner in scoring position. And it's safe. Again, that pickoff. I hate it. I hate it like poison. And, ooh, just waving at that. Had him fooled. 0-2. Grounder over to Howell. Out number 2, runner moves. Over to third. Kenneth Connor steps in 0-for-1. It's a dirt mall. Let me think about it. The dirt mall eventually had an Old Navy open in it. And I think it's like the Old Navy that time forgot because it had styles from like years ago. Like I'll never forget. Ooh, that one gets away from Ruiz, but nothing doing. I remember buying clothes in there that was like, man, it's the Old Navy performance fleece from like 1997. And it's 2003. I still had a box somewhere, I guess. But yeah, that was a great little mall. It had a toy store, it had a KB toy store, had a record store. Bought some of my first records, bought an excellent Radio 4 record there, Gotham. Great album. I think about a Cursive album there too. Ruiz looks at a ball outside. Trip Bernays, let's take a look at him. He's 74th pitch right there. Looking okay as he walks Ruiz. Trey Mattingly steps up. A little bit of movement here. A little less than half stamina left in the tank here for Bernays. This might be his last inning. And Mattingly hits a high fly ball. Ooh, Bell is there, tracks it down, out number 2. Just a long, loud out. KB, Toy, and Hobby, so good. Yes. Kitty City. I do remember Kitty City. Popped up. 2. South, out number 3. So KB Toy, yes. Kitty City, Toys R Us before they were anything. Yes. The Dirt Mall had a Kitty City that I think closed. Trey Mattingly steps, or feels it, fires, and that's out number 1. And then I think Kitty City actually may have turned into a large KB or something. Something like that. Toys R Us was the shit back in the day. Just saying. As R.A. Bell goes down on strikes, Andrew Kerr steps in. And R.A. Hollister's chase from the game. I think he had a lot of pitches anyway. Collins Turnip comes in. We've seen her quite a bit. And right at Bugby, the below the belt catch. 3-1. The Aeroplanes still lead it bottom of the 5th. McIntyre will lead it off for the home team. And that is gone over the big wall. McIntyre with a solo shot extends the Aeroplanes lead. 4-1. Lionel Kitty City turns that frown upside down. Trip Bernays out. Keith Dude in. I figured Bernays wasn't going to last much longer anyway. In steps Miguel Russell. I'll never forget. So, I never, ever went to Toys R Us. There are only 2 times in my life I can think that I went to Toys R Us when I was a kid. Because I didn't really get toys. Like, it wasn't like every time you go out you get a toy or anything like that. Oh, I have a good story about that. 2-2. I had to get some surgery in my mouth at some point. I forget why. Something. I had like something up here for some reason. I had to get some type of surgery inside my mouth. And I'll never forget going to Toys R Us after the surgery to get a toy. It must have been 7. Down on strikes, down to Francis Chase, and just struggling at the plate. They get another run here, folks. 4-1. The Aeroplanes lead it over the Maneaters. Heart of the order due up, though, for the Maneaters. Got to go to Toys R Us after that. Got to pick out a toy, and what did I freaking pick out? I picked out a microscope, because I'm such a nerd. And I could never get it to work. And it was a piece of junk. next time I went there, so because they had like different things than your local chain stores. Because Walmart didn't really hit. Walmart didn't hit big in my area until like the late 90s. Valencia down on strikes.
The first baseman, number 27.
Actually, Walmart opened up in my area in the late 90s, so we didn't have anything. It's just like local department stores and stuff. But so the Toys R Us had all these different Jurassic Park toys that I was obsessed with back in the day. Man, I found a Quetzalcoatlus there. Never forget that. It's like, holy shit. Quetzalcoatlus? Got that. It's in the closet behind me. I think it's broken. I would like to repair it. Kobe Frown hits the ball very hard. It skips right into Aria Bell's gloves. That's a base hit. Here in the bottom of the 6th, home team already has a base runner. Kenna Howell steps up. Good speed on the base pass. Howell's 0 for 1. Let's see, KB Toys was in the mall too when I was a kid. So that if we went to the mall, it's so funny when like your perspective as a kid, as Frown easily steals that bag. Going to the mall, now I know the mall is like a 40-minute drive, which is like nothing. And she goes down on strikes and Ruiz steps up. When you're a kid, it's like, man, the mall is like an hour away. It's so long, it's forever. No one hugs the line. Griffith steps on the bag. Out number 2. Runner advances. Trey Mattingly comes up. But so funny, though. 40 minutes is like nothing. I used to commute longer to go to work one way every single day. But so if we went to the mall, it was kind of a big deal. And Mattingly hits a high fly ball into the corner. Jock fields it. Mattingly going for 2. He gets in there safely. And it's a 5-1 ball game now with that RBI double. Sherry Droop steps in. And that's a base hit. Mattingly's going to come home. He runs quite well. And no play at the plate. 6-1 now. The Aeroplanes bats are coming alive. And Keith Dew looking tense out there on the mound. As Ash McIntyre steps in. So anytime we went to the mall, it would be a big thing. It'd be a big to-do. And that's when you get to go to KB Toys, maybe get something. And that's where I bought, actually, at KB Toys where I bought my first Magic the Gathering set. Harry Henderson comes in now to pitch. 2 on, 2 out for Miguel Russell here in the bottom of the 6th. And 3-0 on Russell. There's a strike. Bought Alfred Chicken there. The amazing game Alfred Chicken for the Super Nintendo. I think for the regular Nintendo I bought it. I also bought Kirby's Adventure for the Nintendo. Lots of them. Just buckets of Legos. But those toy stores always had things different than what was available in the local department store. So like, you go to like a KB or go to Toys R Us and it's like, holy shit. They have all these amazing things that I've never ever seen before and will never ever see again. Ball in the dirt, 3-2 Jock. Turnup still out there on the mound, into the dugout, watch out. Ooh, good. Slider away, gets him to chase it as Spud Pepperoni steps in with 1 out. And Tatum Midtown coming in now. Going to the mall was such an adventure when you were a kid. Go to the mall, hit the Orange Julius. The mall's the first time I saw Jurassic Park. That little mall theater, like a two theater. God, that was probably It was still like in theaters a year after it came out, which you don't see anymore, which is crazy. Spud down on strikes. Having a terrible day at the plate, actually. So Kenneth Connor steps in. He's 0 for 2 as well. That one's fouled away. Freaking Orange Julius was the greatest. Had so many Orange Julii when I was a kid. Which is why I had to buy husky jeans at Sears. Out number 3, top of the bottom of the 7th, rather. 5, 6, and 7 due up for the Asiago Aeroplanes. So, let me tell you a story about not getting toys. When I was a kid, my, you know, I had friends growing up who would get, like, I'll never forget Easter the one year. My friend Joe, liner to Greenman, that's out number 1. So Francis steps up. My friend Joe in grade school told me, it was like Easter, and he's like, "What'd you get for Easter?" I was like, "I don't know, candy and pencils." And he was like, "Oh, I got a Nintendo 64." I'm like, Easter could be like Christmas? That didn't compute with my brain. And that one is off the glove of South. He recovers, but no chance to get him. That brings up Kenna Howell, 0 for 2. With, again, it seems like it's always somebody with good speed on the base pass for the Aeroplanes. That one somehow gets by Kerr. Don't know what happened there. What do you want me to do? Dive for it? And Shane Ruiz steps in with 2 on, 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th. And that's a little grounder to Griffith, out number 3. Top of the 8th we go. Aeroplanes still lead at 6-1. So I wanted a Jurassic Park toy when I was a kid. And, you know, I'm used to seeing all my friends get everything. My friends are so spoiled. Friends got everything that they wanted. And, you know, blue-collar parents, blue-collar jobs. Didn't really have a lot of cashola running around, so we're like, hey, well, I want this toy. But, you know, you're a kid, you don't understand that. My mom's like, no, you're not getting that toy. And I'm like, come on, it's like $30. That's not a lot of money. You know, for us back then it was, so. Actually, it might have been more than that. It was probably like 50 or 60 bucks now I think about it. It's a bigger T-Rex. And my mom was like, all right, this is what we're going to do. You're going to put it on layaway. And that's when I was introduced to layaway as a young child. 3-0 to Aria Bell. And there's a strike. Curver in there. Now full count. Aeroplane's just kind of outmatching or out-hitting for sure. The Man-Eaters bullpen might look a little strange. Andrew Kerr steps in, but they got something going now. No outs. 2 on. Top of the 8th. Andrew Kerr up. That's a foul ball. So I had to do chores, and for like 2 months, so I get like, I don't know, $5, $10 or something like that. Runner's going to third. Oh wow, just got in there safe. That was a real close play. So on the corners, 1 out, and Bertram South up. So it took a while, but I finally bought the dinosaur. But on layaway as a 10-year-old, going to make payments. Was I 10? 9? 9-year-old, maybe? And safe. So that takes away the double play. So good base running there by the Man-Eaters. And that's a base hit up the middle. 1 run comes home. Are they sending the other? No. They're going to hold it at third. So now 6-2 as Valencia steps in. Man-Eaters don't call it a comeback. Going to make payments every week, though. Once I get my allowance money at Walmart to buy a dinosaur on layaway. Learning the value of the dollar, folks. Popped up, long run for Francis, and that is out number 2. Nothing doing on the base paths. That brings up Griffith. It's 2 for 3. Harden. Marker Harden comes in now. 2 outs, top of the 8th. 1 run's already in.
Ball inside.
Runners on the corners.
That's outside.
Looks at a ball outside. And Russell down in the hot corner. Little backhanded stop. Throws across the diamond. Out number 3. They leave 2 runners on. Get a run back though. 6-2. The Aeroplanes still lead it.
23.
To the bottom of the 8th we go.
Strike. That's inside. Strike.
1-2 now on Mattingly. And that is a hit. And that actually might just stay a single, yes. Stadium plays very small.
Now batting, the designated
2
hitter.
for 4, 2 singles, and RBI for Sherry Droop. Having a good day at the plate. As Harry Henderson's still out there working away. And I had all types of weird lessons like that when I was a kid. And that's a stolen bag, actually. Stole it on Spud, who has a pretty decent arm behind the plate. Down on strike she goes.
Now batting.
Ash McIntyre on fire. Home run, double, 2 walks, and an RBI today.
11.
Just his stats are off the charts. Never forget my mom giving telling my brother and I think I was 9 or 10. A lot happened when I was 9 or 10 now I think about it. A lot of potentially traumatizing things.
Number 53.
Just yelling to my brother and I that she got us gifts, which was so out of the ordinary. She's like, "Hey guys, got you presents." Ooh, that's in like a little weird area. The runners advance, get the out at first. Runners move up though, so 2 on, second and third now, 2 outs. Bottom of the 8th. Another chance here for the Aeroplanes to extend their lead, and they do. That's going to be an extra base hit. 1 run comes home. Here comes another, and Jared Bugby has a 2 RBI double. 8-2 now. The Asiago Aeroplanes leading it over the Mozzarella Maneaters. And Donna Francis with a hit. I'm so shocked because she doesn't hit the baseball. And the run scores an RBI single at that.
Now pitching.
All right, Harry Henderson's pulled from the game. Here's Nola Dixon. But when I was, I think 10 years old, my mom was like, "Hey guys, I got presents for you." So we run downstairs in eager excitement because we never really got anything like that out of the ordinary. And she handed us laundry baskets. And she's like, "I'm sick of doing your laundry. You're doing it on your own." And from that point on, I did my own laundry. Popped up. Spud tracks it down. Out number 3. The Asiago Aeroplanes get 3 runs here in the bottom of the 8th. 7-8-9 due up for the Maneaters. Lots of offers though.
Right fielder.
The Aeroplanes are trying to close this game out. With this win, they will tie the series at 2. We'll have 1 final game here at Big Sky, and then we'll go back for 2 games at
Now batting.
the Tiger Den.
Number 19.
A base runner here, though. Spud Pepperonis steps in. Popped up into no man's land. Now Kobe Frown gets it. Out number 1.
Now batting, the left fielder, number 53.
It's funny when I think of kids like nowadays, what they have. Like I remember when I was that one's a foul ball down the line. When I was a camp counselor, like a day camp during the summers in college, I'd have like kids, 7, 8, 9 years old. This is when the Razor was big, the Motorola Razor. And it was like just coming out. In a rundown, out number 3. Ball game over. The Aeroplanes tie up the series at 2. But I'll never forget, like these kids, that's Kid Kevin. It's hilarious. He had this Motorola Razr phone, brand new phone. He's 8 years old. I'm like, Kevin. And he's always on it. I'm like, Kevin, who are you calling? Everybody that you know is here at camp. I'm calling my mom. I'm like, all right. I'm like, why do you need a phone like this? Like, I was in college. I was driving around. I was, had a license. I was doing things. There was a need for me to have a cell phone. If I had a car accident, something like that, this kid gets driven around. He's 8 years old. I don't know. It's just funny. He's a funny kid. 2-10-0 to 9-13-0. The Aeroplanes just kind of kept tacking on runs here, folks. And they had lots and lots of hits. I mean, there's a lot of hits throughout this game. 10 hits on the Maneater side. They just couldn't put any runs together, really. Although Bertram South did have 2 RBIs. And Miguel Russell, big game for him. 3 ribbies. 2 ribbies there for Jared Bugby. Bernays gets the loss. Turnip gets the win. Harden gets the save. And we got McIntyre, Russell, and Hollister. All Asiago Aeroplanes up on the top 3. So, with that win, the Aeroplanes knot the series up at 2. So we'll stream again later on tonight. Look for that notification, probably around 7 o'clock. And we'll do the next couple of games, actually, between the Aeroplanes and the Maneaters to see who's going to go to the final to face off against the Bree Boomerangs. But that is it for me right this moment. Thank you so much for joining us here on a Sunday morning. Back again later on, right around 7 o'clock, if not maybe a little bit earlier. You never know. Yeah, folks, thank you so much for watching. We will catch you next time. See you later. Bye.